All right. Well, welcome one and all, redheads and not yet redheads. This is our September 7th Telegram live chat. Staggering to think we're a week into September 2023 already. Time does move pretty quickly. We've got John and a bit of an audience here. We will be posting this later on YouTube, along with captions and all that good stuff for those of you that can't follow along live. And if anything that we're talking about today resonates with you or you feel like reaching out, I'll say it now. We'll say it again throughout the thing. We live and die with volunteers. We are volunteers, and we need all the help, all the care, all the love we can get to get ReddCoin to where it needs to be. So we are putting our hearts and souls into all this, but more is a bigger party. So if you feel like helping out, just reach out. It's that easy. Today
they call it audience participation.
Yes, exactly. Today we are mostly talking about our wallet. We are rapidly getting to the point, and we talked about it last week as well. We are rapidly getting to the point where that new version 4, full featured and with warning signs removed and all the functionality that we've been talking about is in place. We are going to need folks to switch over and to kind of help us make that transition. So if you do see that the new release is out, feel free to go ahead, read the directions that we're going to put on it first. There are some, I don't want to say pitfalls, but we've tried to design all of this as we do to make it as safe as possible for all the users, all the redheads. We realize that there are coins and money at stake, so we've tried to ensure safety. And just another recommendation, backup. Do not do any upgrades without having a backup of your keys or your wallet. And if you need help, please reach out. That's what we're here for. We are going to be putting out guides and walkthroughs and some more videos on what the new features of the wallet can be expected to function like, and sort of explain some of those. And in fact, John's going to be sharing, if possible, his screen a bit tonight, just to share a bit of that. But at the end of the day, you need to know what you're doing. If you're unsure, please ask, please reach out. If you run into problems, we're here as a resource as well. So with that, John, you want to dive into some wallet talk?
Yeah, let's talk some shop. Unfortunately, I won't be able just to put it right out front. I won't be sharing my screen today. I just had a couple of technical difficulties trying to get that up and going, but certainly for the walkthrough, I think that's quite pertinent because there's a bunch of new stuff in there that will need a little bit of help to explain to people, because going into our new version 4 wallet, the functionality for creating new wallets is different to what it was previously, and there's a little bit of some migration steps and things that people need to be aware of. So, it is a big step for the core code, but, we jumped from version 10 Bitcoin up to version 22. So there was quite a lot of, back-end migration that had occurred in that time that, regarding where files are located on people's systems, and the wallet infrastructure has changed a little bit. And additionally, with us now supporting the HD wallets along with BIP39 and BIP44, that also changes the way people can interact with their wallet, and which is what I want to share a little bit today. And I think probably by next week, we should do almost a full presentation walkthrough of what is in the wallet and how do we find stuff, and use that as a precursor to any walkthroughs, because I'm hoping that sort of drives a few questions from our audience as well. So with all that said, moving on to what have we achieved and where we're at. As far as the wallet software is concerned and coding, I think we're now at the 99.999% done. I think we can actually pull the trigger on making that releasable. I've been writing up release notes over the last little while, catching up with what my commits were. People watching on the Discord channel, you'll be seeing some activity on the core wallet channel there. What the last little bits we did to finish off was to enable the multi-wallet staking. I think I've said some of this on our last call. That's what was I trying to achieve? Well, that's done. Some on the GUI, so people who are using the GUI version of the wallet, there's also some status icons now for staking, actually showing you the status of staking, what wallet is staking, which ones aren't. There's some messaging. I just enabled some messaging yesterday, just a little finessing little bits and pieces to display where the warnings are, where people would have seen previously a warning saying, don't use this wallet, don't use this for real transactions. It's a beta. Well, that actually is part of the warning on the GUI. So I'm utilizing that to display a little bit of staking messages. So if you're synchronizing or there's some other message as to why a wallet is not staking, that will also show up there as a more obvious reason, so people don't sort of, I'm not staking. Why am I not staking? Then there's at least a reason as to why. I've probably covered about 90% of the messaging there. There's probably a few little corner cases that need to be adjusted, but they can flow through in later versions as we become aware of them. I've also enabled, as you select different wallets, you can display the wallet type. So whether it's an empty wallet or a BIP32 wallet or a BIP44 wallet, BIP39 wallet, BIP44, 32, 39, 44, but they'll all get a little status icon down the status bar to show what that is. Again, more for a visual, trying to work out what wallet they have open. Because there are, as people start to swallow up and begin their migration phase, it will support the original wallet that was created. So the standard wallet.stat file, which is a list of all the transactions and whatnot. It will open that wallet fine, but it doesn't change the behavior. It's still a non-HD wallet. So one of the challenges, one of the important things about being in HD is being able to recover all your keys from a single seed. Your wallet itself, so your original wallet, doesn't get migrated to that HD scenario. You can upgrade your wallet to support it, but those original keys stay as a separate package. They end up with a mixed wallet, which is fine. That's a supported feature. Not something I'd actually encourage, because at the end of the day, the whole reason for going to HD is when you select a bit 32 or higher. The whole idea is to make it wallet comfortable just for the feature. So I'm hoping there's a structure of real torrential rainstorm that I can hear this.
I was going to say, we are getting a bit of that background noise.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. I can actually, I can take over for a minute. The wallet work obviously is something that, that's preeminent in what we're doing, and that's been the focus of a lot of our work. And to John's credit, he's spearheaded that and kept plugging through what is really just detail-oriented and agonizing work. So thank you, John. We all owe you a debt of gratitude for the suffering. I think the other piece that is happening that people will be happy about, and I can share let's say a staging version of this that Kay has worked to build as part of our re-emerging social media team. We've got finally, again, a roadmap that at this point is backward looking and documenting the things that we have done, which have been not well documented publicly on our website. And that's something that we realize has really made an impact to what we're doing. We've worked very hard to bring people to the website and expose ReddCoin to new users. And since we haven't been able to bring that or keep that information up to date accurately, people look at it and go, oh, I guess they're not doing anything. Well, clearly we are. We want to make sure that people know that we are. And for those Redheads paying attention to sort of the general volume in the last, let's say, week or two, not just trading volume, I mean sort of noise level in the ReddCoin messaging. I'm sure you've seen an uptick in the volume, a lot more social media traffic, engagement with people and responses from some of the folks we're talking to there, which is always good. and really actually a bunch of good communication and messaging around why ReddCoin really is different, why we're still relevant, and why we expect actually to continue to be able to solve the challenges we've gone after when a lot of other projects have sort of failed or fallen by the wayside. That is the messaging that we need to be pushing out there, really to capture why ReddCoin is special. To that end, we've worked hard and are about to, we've got a bit more work to do, but within the next week or so, the website ReddCoin.com will have up to date the not just backward-looking roadmap that we were able to share here, but also the forward-looking roadmap, the things that we're working on. Again, some of them may be a little tenuous. Things like wrapped ReddCoin have been a bit of a struggle, and we've had some reversals to get into place. But having that on our development roadmap so that people know about it may lead to good things, if other people are able to help us solve those challenges, for example. So, sorry, I'm moving around idly while I'm talking. So we do, again, credit to Kay for the graphics here and building this. We will have this built into the ReddCoin.com site shortly, along with an up-to-date partners page with all of the partners that we have, which really are quite a few, as well as a live news page and a link to our blog that really pulls all of our information together. We've been a bit scattered. We have been not as detail-oriented in keeping all of that up to date. I will confess it is a lot of work to do. And that's one of the reasons why we always asking for help, asking for volunteers. We can use all the help we can get, even if you're not technical, you're not a coder. We'd love to have you. We'd love to teach you what we're doing so you can help and pitch in. The only reason that John and I are as proficient at the things that we're doing here as we are is because we've been doing it, well, since I can remember at this point. Was there a time before crypto?
No.
So, yes. So that's the website. I think the wallet and the website really are the two focuses right now on the tech side and on the non-tech side. We do have a lot of work to document the things that we're doing so that people understand, redheads know how to use the new wallet and those features. So again, look for some guides and videos and walkthroughs coming out along with the release of that wallet. And again, there's not a lot of difference in sort of the appearance. Most of it, we've added some new panes, staking information and things like that people should find amazingly useful and informational. But truth be told, we really do owe it to ourselves to do a bit of a facelift on the overall wallet. So that'll be as soon as we can get to that, and if we can get some creative and graphic skill engaged, we obviously want to make sure that the underpinnings, the engine is working as it should be, but we want it pretty looking and smooth and sleek as well. So if anybody's got any talents in that direction, feel free to throw your hat in the ring and volunteer to help. Or if you have ideas, wallets you've seen in other projects, or you've been inspired by Coinbase's wallet, you think we should go that way, let us know. If you have any thoughts, obviously in any direction, we're always willing to listen. Let me see how to stop sharing.
Just on that front, there are actually quite a few wallets out there that even support ReddCoin. So while the core wallet that we're building on is more aimed towards the desktop environment, there's plenty of mobile wallets out there, including our own. We have our own, which needs a little bit more love on it because we haven't been able to do any work for a little while. But there are other mobile wallets out there supporting ReddCoin. So there's lots of options there.
Absolutely. Let me see. What else did we have to talk about? I'm unable to.
Actually, while you're coming up with topic ideas, I did want to share with the community also is particularly the non-technical / non-coding people. If you'd like to see the wallet in a particular language, we do have our Transifex site for translations, which if somebody could lend a little bit of their time to go over and review or update some of the translations, certainly more than welcome to participate. There's quite a selection, or if there's a language there that's that you'd like to support that's not there, you can also request to add that in. We can drop a link into somewhere to so people can find that. I think it's transifex.com/ReddCoin. I think is the path. But
get it.
That's one part that is lacking, and with the new update, well, since our last wallet update, there has been quite a few bits of the language have transferred across as we've made some GUI changes and additions. The TransifeX actually, just for people to know, does carry through a lot of those translations from previous versions if they look similar. So the machine translations do occur, but sometimes they need a little bit of human intervention and interpretation, particularly when there's been no other translation done for that particular language or what's the word I'm looking for, the string that needs to be translated.
Yep, and you can see here, folks, we've got decent coverage, but if you speak Spanish, I think Spanish predominantly up top there, German, Russian, Ukrainian, French, Korean, certainly. I know that we have communities in each one of those places. If you're a native speaker, okay, I would say if you're not comfortable translating, don't translate, because we do want good translations. But if you're unsure, hey, touch base with John or I, and or just sign up and take a shot at it. I guess an okay translation is better than no translation. I think that's fair.
Yeah, even I think for people to read through and review, sometimes the translations aren't correct. And I've looked through just recently as I've gone back to look at the setup. There's people have offered suggestions of what to use, and that their back-end system gives you a priority order of what they think is the correct translation. So it's actually quite a nice little interface. It's a little bit complicated if it's the first time you've been doing translation, but from a community point of view, it needs a little bit more attention to help translate. And I think people will become more aware of that once they start the wallet and realize that, oh, I've got my translation. I've got some strings are in a language, and then they've got the English base. So I'm hoping that the next coming while that people will offer a little bit of assistance to help improve the interface for themselves. So it's more for themselves to do that. So looking forward to seeing a little bit of sign up. I'm trying to monitor. I get very slack. Sometimes people have signed up and I haven't touched it for a couple of weeks. So it's like everything, translations tends to drop down a priority list on the coding side of things. But now we're percolating up now, the GUI and things coming out for people. And then you realize, there's some deficiencies there. So looking forward to hearing from our community. And I did notice, just to reflect on that, I know Bitcoin particularly, is always our base coin that they have a whole social commentary on translations where people can go to interact. And while I don't think we're big enough to have that sort of support, certainly if we jump on one of the channels, we can, whether it's the serious devs or even on the standard page, if you want to start engaging in translations, if we get enough people engaged, then we can set up our own channel there.
Absolutely. That is the high points of what I think we wanted to make sure that folks know, looking for the wallet to be released as soon as the last bits of building decide to cooperate, and we've got documentation and all of that good stuff wrapped around it. We will be putting out some video guides, some walkthroughs. Let me just go ahead and mute our visitor here. Queen Azuzu, welcome. I've seen you on Twitter, and thank you for your support. I did have to mute you. And really, apart from that, you should be seeing some, let's say, some interesting announcements coming out in the next week or so about what we're doing, what we're working on. Again, even just bringing out a page on our website, which is the intent, that showcases our partners and who they are and how they're tied into the ReddCoin ecosystem. from conversations I've had recently, I think a lot of our community doesn't know who we're tied to, where you can use ReddCoin, what the capabilities are, and really where we're building in the future. If we've done a poor job of that, we apologize. We're going to correct that. You'll see up-to-date information. And again, if that inspires you to get involved and help us get this massive piece of work done, don't hesitate. Give us a shout, message, direct message, whatever it is. We're not scary. We rarely bite. And we're as strong as the people on our team, which tends to ebb and flow. And at the moment, I will say there's definitely an energetic feeling. We've seen some good movements in the price and in volume. I think I believe I know where that's coming from, really just from expanding our reach into other channels and talking about what ReddCoin is and potentially what it is. Anything that you as a Redhead can contribute to what we're doing there, even if it's just a retweet or a comment or a support, or as our guest earlier said, he learned about ReddCoin from a friend telling him. And we're sufficiently different that we're catchy. We're a little bit addictive. We need to do a better job of sharing that with people and getting that technology out to them. So anybody that wants to help, a little or a lot, you're very much welcome. Other than that, it is, again, staggering how quickly time passes, but welcome to September. John, did you have any thoughts?
I was just going to recap. So I'm really excited. We are at the very pointy end of getting a release out there. I think if we can schedule similar presentation for next Thursday night, then I can have the wallet up and running on here. We can screen share. We can actually show people through some of the basic stuff, like creating what's it take to create a wallet, staking, importing wallets, all that kind of cool stuff. So I certainly ran it through a build process yesterday. Got rid of all the issues I was having previously. So it's building fine, running fine, staking away of it, testnet staking. I'm a testnet billionaire, and I'm comfortably confident with the wallet that I actually am staking my own coins on the core wallet, the new core wallet version on mainnet. So it's ticking away quite nicely there, and not having any issues. Transactions are occurring as expected. So I think for me at least, that's a proof of the pudding. If I'm not putting my own funds on the line, then how can I expect other people to do that? So that's where we're at.
Absolutely. So that really just highlights the fact we've done the testing that we can. Testing a piece of software like this is obviously pretty complex. So we do count on anybody that can, as you use the wallet, if you run into a problem, have a bug, particularly something that is reproducible, you do the same thing and it brings the same error. Please take the time to at least communicate it back in one of our channels. Ideally, you could go to GitHub and open an actual issue that we could address. But any way to get that information back to us, you're all our community testers as well as our Redhead family. We do need insight into how it's performing, and that benefits all of us. We have not seen any real deal breaker bugs or security issues that we need to sort of address that haven't been. A lot of that has been rolled into where we are at this point. And just to highlight the fact that we are jumping in this release from Bitcoin core components of version 10, that's 1.0, to version 22. That's 12 versions of Bitcoin and all the incremental versions that came out in between, but 12 releases of Bitcoin core code that has built on each other and gotten complexer and complexer. And now we've taken the pieces that we want, put them in the ReddCoin wallet and hammered them in until they work. If we run into issues with the code, it's a transparent project. We will report them to the community, but that obviously goes in both directions. We want to know what needs to be fixed if things need to be fixed. So team effort, everybody needs to pitch in if you want ReddCoin to be a success, whether you're working or just using the wallet. And I think that's a good place to end. Thanks, everybody, for taking the time to listen to what we've got to say. Watch this space and others for the next week or so. We will be making some announcements and publishing some things. The website is set to go live just as quickly as it's done, and we'll be publishing that as well, and some social events coming up soon. I think on that note, we will wrap up our weekly call. Unless we have any questions from the audience.
There's one I saw from Doug, which is what platforms we're releasing on. I think that platform list hasn't changed too much since the last time we released. So effectively, Windows, Mac, and Linux, Android, not Android, Raspberry Pi style devices. Once we get this release settled, then we can start looking at any other platforms that people are interested in. I think with for Windows, it's 64-bit operating systems only. So anybody who's still on the old 32-bit, you can unfortunately have to stick on the old wallet for a little while longer until you can upgrade. Linux is both 32 and 64-bit. Mac, there is a version. I can't remember what it is now. I have to go back and look at my notes. There is a minimum version for the Mac OS as to what you can run it on. That's it primarily. I know looking at Bitcoin, their build script that they use, the GUIX, does allow for more and more platforms as they've seen fit. Things like Spark, but I can't imagine our users are ventured off into those areas. But if somebody has an OS that they like supported or interested in having supported, then speak up somewhere and we can look at what's involved in putting that in place.
Be off mute to talk. Absolutely, and yeah, hopefully we don't get too many requests for AS400 and yeah. Awesome. Excited to see some of the stuff happening in the community, and especially our social media team is in high gear and doing everything possible. I'd call them out by name, but I don't know if that's fair. So social media team as a whole, well done and fantastic. And again, just to encourage people, if you feel like you want to help, if you have ideas, thoughts, hands and eyes, and you can write, draw, or code, whatever it is, we want your help, genuinely. If you want to work in the space, we are one of the oldest projects still running at this point, so definitely some credibility there. And on that note, we will wrap up for the week. Thank you, everybody, redheads or not,
Thank you all
for taking the time. And I guess that'll do it. Everybody have a great evening or morning. And just as a side note, if you have listened this far, I was playing a little music up front that I don't think got recorded. I'm not sure. But there is a musical on Apple TV called Spirited with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds that was staggeringly entertaining. So, little shout out to Will and Ryan, buddies of mine. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night or day, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you, guys.